Short Vowel Word Stories by Cynthia Molina. Ab, ick, l, ing, ub. Ab story. The crab got in a cab. He did blab about a scab he got when he swam. He put on a dab of cream on the scab. He grabs his lab dog. Then he pays his tab for riding the cab. Act story. The duck likes to quack. It carries a sack on its back. His name is Jack. He likes to wear black. His friend Mac likes to crack eggs in his shack. Mac and Jack like to eat stacks of pancakes. Yum, they smack their lips. Ad story. There was a lad named Brad. He sometimes acted bad. He'd get mad at his dad. Brad would yell. When Brad was sad, he'd cry. His pal Chad made him feel glad when he was sad. Ag story. A girl's pup likes to wag its tail. It likes to sleep on a shag rug. The girl brags that her pup can pick up a bag of chips. Also, the pup runs fast when she waves a green flag. Am story. Sam and Pam like to eat jam. They scram to make the jam sandwiches. They even eat it with ham. Once they swam in the pool. They ate jam and ham sandwiches in the pool too. Amp story. In camp, you do fun things. You swim and your hair gets damp. You race and now there is a champ. You write letters home, put a stamp. You read stories in bed with a lamp. Anne's story. Dan was a man who liked to ride in his van. He liked to drink a can of juice. He liked to plan trips to Kansas. He always eats bran cereal too. Aunt's story. The friends in France went to a dance. They had a chance to dance at the fancy ball. They pranced left and right. They glanced at others dressed very fancy. It was fun to dance at the fancy ball. Hank's story. Hank likes to have fun. Frank's boat was in the water, but Hank sank it. He played a prank on his friend Frank. He yanked Frank's shoelace, and Frank fell. Frank was mad. Hank then had to play all alone with his toy tank. Asked story. The boat crew sailed in the vast sea. It was so fun. It was such a blast. The mast was tall. The boat was so fast that it sailed past another boat. At story. The bat liked to scare the rat. The bat sat up high and then spat on the rat. Gross! The rat hid under a mat. Then a big fat cat saw the scared rat. Now the cat chased the rat into a vat of that hot soup. The rat ran out fast. Atch story. It was fun to make a batch of cookies. We made it from scratch. We did not have to catch any fish to make the cookies. We did snatch some sugar, eggs, and butter to make the cookies. Yum. Ed story. I read about a lot of things. I learned if you don't feed a plant, it will be dead. I learned if you spread butter on bread, it tastes good. I learned to dread scary monsters under my bed, but it's all in my head. X story. There was a hen that liked to peck. She would peck you on the neck. She would peck even a speck of dirt. She would peck your hand until you got into a wreck. She would even peck the floor or the deck. Ed's story. Ned and Fred sped on their red bikes. They saw that a man fed his dog. They saw that a baby was asleep in bed. They saw that a little baby fled from his mom. They saw two boys sliding down a hill on a sled. Elle's story. Nell likes to ring the bell to sell her pretty shells. She added a nice smell to the shell with perfume. One shell fell and she was so angry that she did yell. End story. Ben, Glenn, and Ken are men. They have a pig that lives in a pen. They gave the pig 10 chicken wings. Then, when the pig was full, they gave the pig water. Then they fed their pet hen some seeds. Et story. Have you met Chet yet? I bet you don't know what Chet likes to do for fun. He likes to get some jello for his pet dog to eat. He likes to let his hair get wet in the rain. He flies his toy jet too. Ick story. Nick the dog likes to lick. He licks the ball, he did just kick. He licks the bone, he did just pick up. He licks the stick that Rick throws to him. He even licks a brick that is slick with mud. He licks a furry chick until it is wet. He licked so much that he got sick. Ig story. The big pig eats a lot. First, it eats a lot of figs. It almost ate a wig because it had jelly on it. It even does dig in the dirt. He finds a big twig with more jelly on it. This pig loves jelly. Ill story. Jack and Jill ran up the hill to fetch a pail of water. After she filled her pail, she tripped and fell. Then the water did spill. She cried. She still did fill her pail with water. Jack got some grain from the mill. They had bread with water. Ing's story. There was a king who liked a lot of things. He does like to sing a song about spring flowers. Pretty, pretty daisies. He does like to swing on his swing. He does like to fling a frisbee high into the air. He does like to bring cake to his friends. He does like to cling to his nice rings too. Ink's story. What can you do? Can you blink six times? Can you wear all pink? Can you clink 3 rocks to the ground? Can you drink sour lemonade? Can Can you shrink so small like an ant? Can you think of how a skunk cannot stink? Its story. It is never good to quit. Even when you don't hit the ball, hit again. Even when you fall, when you sit, sit again. Even when you cannot knit clothes, knit again. Even when you have bit your tongue, eat again. Ob's story. Bob did like his job. He liked to fix doorknobs. He does pick up wet globs of water with a mop. His heart does throb or beat when he gets to have a snack, a corn on the cob. Yum. Ox story. Tick-tock goes the clock. It is time to play with that rock. Try to throw the rock into the sock. Try to throw the block into the sock. Knock, knock on the door. It is Mom wearing a frock. She is in shock to see us throwing a rock and a block into a sock. Og story. Fred the frog likes to play on a foggy day. First he does jog around the pond. Then he plays fetch with dog. Then he rolls on a log with hairy hog. Frog falls and gets back up on the log to play some more. Op story. Pop is busy in the toy shop. Pop sets all the tops on the table. Pop chops up wood to make a toy cabin. Pop sets up the toy cop inside his toy police car. Pop does mop up his shop of all the slop on his floor. Last he does stop. Pop goes home. Ub story. Cammy Cub likes to be in her den. She does rub against her snug mom. She is hungry, so she eats some grub. The berries taste yum. She then helps to scrub the den floor. She does stub her toe on a rock. Ouch! Uck story. This is the story of Chuck the duck. Duck likes to pluck a feather or two just for fun. Ouch! Duck likes to suck a baby bottle. Duck likes to ride on a toy truck with his hen friend that clucks. Cluck, cluck. Uff story. Billy Goat Gruff likes a lot of stuff. He likes to bluff that he can huff and puff and blow houses down. But he never blows a house down. Gruff likes to sound gruff and mean. But he does not scare a soul. Instead, Gruff runs scared when he hears a dog bark, ruff. Story. What do you like best about your chum or pal? Does your chum share gum? Does your chum beat a drum well? Does your chum eat yummy red plums with you? Does your chum hum good songs? Does your chum know the sum of 3 plus 5? What do we know about Miss Plump the hen? She likes to jump rope. She does pump air into balloons to sell to kids. She has tree stump chairs. She eats rump roast for dinner. She is always nice to all. She is never a grump. Unch story. What do you like to munch at lunch? I like to eat a bunch of grapes. I like to eat popcorn with a buttery crunch. The best drink is orange punch. I have a hunch that now you are quite hungry now. Unk story. Skunk likes to play games. When his pal was asleep in his bunk, Skunk cried boo. Once Skunk shrunk his pal's socks in the dryer. Skunk even hid chunks of butter in his pal's toy bin. Skunk even did dunk a crayon in his pal's milk. Skunk was such a silly punk. Ush story. I like to gush about my favorite singer whom I have a crush on. He makes me blush red. I wish he would give me a plush bear or a pink brush on Valentine's Day. Don't tell my mom. So hush, hush, hush. The end. Thank you. Please subscribe.